Hey YouTube, I'm Ross Magas, back to you again. This just dropped. Geoff Keighley. Geoff Keighley, our boy Geoff Keighley did not let us down. He was like, I'm not going to let people go without having an E3 this year. So I got the next best thing. Well, I guess Geoff Keighley is E3. Now that he's not in there, he's got his own thing. We don't need them, I guess. We just need Geoff Keighley. I'm going to say Geoff Keighley again just for, another good luck. But he revealed, like, he came out with Unreal today, and they revealed to us Unreal Engine 5, and it's got footage running on a PS5, which is what they said. They've confirmed this. I've taken a couple notes here, and like, I just want to talk about this real quick. First of all, if you haven't seen this, go watch it right now. Find the one that has 4K because it does matter. It does. In this case, it does matter. It just looks friggin' breathtaking. No, Keanu's not in this one, but I'm okay. So I'm just going to kind of talk over a little bit and see what we got going on here. We see this character, as you can see. She's just kind of, she's stylized, as you can tell, but like graphical fidelity wise, she does look pretty good. It has to be the right way. Corona. Okay. Let's just take a second to appreciate this. I would like all these things to go away. But so one of the key takeaways I took away from this was that they're not going to have to worry anymore about, for artists at least, when they bring in assets to the game. So like, as you can see here, it looks like we're watching a movie. They did say that on the, I guess, commercial side of Unreal that's unrelated to games, they do run asset creation and stuff like that for movies. I forget the name of the system they were using. They mentioned it a couple times here. And these are all, look at this, these are all movie assets. So typically, apparently, what they said before would happen is they would have some kind of conversion where they would take, let's say the asset from the movie is the full high def one, and the only thing better than that would be a real version of that object, which is not always available. So to stick it in a game, because it's so much data and we have to play it, it's just not possible. Until now, apparently. And they would just like compress it down or whatever. I don't know the technical jargon, but some kind of compression would happen and a lot would be lost in the process. So they'd have to kind of jerry rig and fake their way around it to make it look better. But apparently now, with the power of Unreal Engine, they can do that without any of that. They can just pull it over, and like, so the guy who, in the beginning of the video, you'll see there's the artist and the tech guy. They're talking together, and he's gonna say stuff like, I don't have to worry about converting this. I can just pull it over and put it in. He mentioned ZBrush, and I know ZBrush can look pretty impressive, so it's cool that they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff too. But one thing that they're gonna highlight in this section that we're about to see, it's like, look at all these little rocks. Those of you who remember Mark Cerny, I'm trying to think while they're talking in my ear. When Mark Cerny pioneered knack way back in the day, part of what that was for is like, yeah, it's not necessarily the best game, but it is really good at illustrating what the console can do, and that's why knack has so many particulates. So they have a dedicated thing on this. I believe it's called nitrate. Is that part of the engine that handles all these little particles. And the light part is called lumen, which makes sense. But apparently, like, we just couldn't achieve this kind of dynamic lighting before. I mean, look at this. So yeah, here he's explaining the cinematic thing. No. So, they're explaining, actually it's probably going to be distracting if I keep listening to them. They're explaining that every object here has got millions upon millions of little like polygons and stuff like that. I guess that's just 3D jargon for all of us who are not going to make it. But the point is that like each one of these little rocks is composed of tiny, tiny elements. If we think of them as pixels, each pixel is its own 3D surface, essentially. And each one is millions of 3D surfaces stitched together, and it's all running, apparently, in real time. So we don't have to worry about that. So the loads on PS5, apparently, are going to be... I can't even explain how amazing these loads are going to be. Because this whole demo, they're transitioning seamlessly through things. And, it is a demo, so you can take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But, I'm pretty optimistic. And I like that they're explaining to us, if they just shown us this demo and been like, this is a tech demo, isn't that cool? And we'd be like, yeah, it looks nice, but what does it mean? So I'm glad that they explained that all this tech is going on in the background to make our games look better. So clearly, there's a lot of stuff just going on, and we can just apparently we can just sit and jump back and forth. So they've already confirmed that this character is not a real game. This is just a tech demo. I think people are already requesting it because I saw Geoff Keighley talking to the developers, and they're like, I want to play that game, I want to play that game. But what is about to happen in this scene is actually, as you can see in this little thing here, they have it happened to me every time. I guess this sequence has a lot of data on it. So let's see if I can pull it up for you guys. They show really quick what this looks like without all the textures, without all the light, and it just looks like a mess. And it's just going to show you every little thing. I guess not. Oh, okay, whatever. When you watch it, you'll see it. But that's what it was showing, what the light would have been like if they didn't use this new technology, Lumen's engine. You can see it's just dark, but now you can have all the little refractions and reflective light, and that's so good. All the colors are cool and bright where they're supposed to be. At this point, he also talks about the jump. You'll see later why that jump seems ridiculous. How they don't even have to simulate audio anymore. They can just, I guess, build the structure, and they've put in enough data or computational power for the game to run the simulation, again, apparently in real time, and produce the correct sounding effect. So we're going to hear they call it they had reverberation stuff added into it. I can't remember the exact terminology, but at this point you would hear on the left and on the right the rocks that fell down, and they made different sounds. I did hear this earlier when I was watching this. But there you go, rocks. So you hear them falling, and you hear them banging, and then you hear the rocks on the left, and it kind of has an echoier sound. And so this typically would be a loading screen in an old game. So it could still be a loading screen, but I guess that remains to be seen, because look at this. Hang on. Look at the textures on... Oh, okay, I paused it, so it's blurry. But look at the textures on these walls. So I guess this is still a loading screen, without us seeing a loading screen. But what we get on the other side of that is still, so beyond what we've had. Oh, another thing that I thought was really cool is they pointed out that these bats, they can be, it's not just bats, right? The bats can be considered particles. So with their particle engine, they can have the particles interact as part of a mass thing. So you don't have to animate all of these bats separately. You can just kind of program a system, I guess, where bats just need to be X distance away from each other, and they'll make this noise or whatever noise based on this location, and the game will take care of the rest of that. So it's kind of I think I saw someone in the comments. I'm going to see if I can find them and show it to you later. But they were like, look, if you take Breath of the Wild systems with Red Dead Redemption graphics, that's what Unreal is supposedly bringing. So get hype, guys. But they all act interactively. You can see them flying around. God, this lighting, man. And then here, they show us that even the water is really well simulated on its own. Based on what they were saying, it sounded like those rocks don't always fall the same way. So there's just a lot of cool stuff going on in the background to help people make more stuff, better stuff. I mean, look at this. I'm watching it in 4K, okay? So you guys need to watch this in 4K. They also talk about how there's going to be like contextually based animations, or that the system can figure out how to make contextually based animations. So like the weight of the character looks more realistic because the context of the situation might not be something they exactly planned for, but they can plan for in general terms. So she can like put her feet down in the right spot and all that good stuff. But it looks like, I guess because it is a demo, they're trying to make it look like a game. They still have these climbing sections. I guess they wanted us to think Uncharted or Tomb Raider, because those games really right now are like big marquee games that show off what graphics can do. I love this scene here. They talked about this is a context thing where like they can put that in where the character would just automatically put their hand up against the door. This is cool too here. So like you see how the bugs scatter? They do mention this, but that's another thing where they're talking about the particles, and you can see the reflections on all the little pots and stuff. But you can see how the bugs, hang on, let me move my mouse. I was pointing at the screen, are moving away from the light. So they just put in a system. It's like if light, I guess X amount brightness, bugs go away, you know? More dynamic lighting changes and how it's on the fly. So this would be really interesting for me. I wanted to know what the initial boot up time is, because like all of these transitions are pretty fast. Like there's no real slowdown. They're not stopping completely. They're not pressing X and holding it, except for in one section up ahead. That huge statue, they made a big deal about how it was brought in directly, and it has like all these crazy textures. But in this room, they have like more than 500 copies of that exact statue. Smaller, but way more elements. And as you can see, like this whole time, we haven't noticed like any real jittering or whatever. These things have all transitioned from what I assume is gameplay to like cutscene without us really stopping to think about it. Oh, my internet. My computer can't handle it. Oh, no, I need the good graphics. Excuse me. Hang on. Let's go back. There we go. Fucking. I'm gonna have to go kick people off the internet. Okay, let's wait a second. Huh. Are we just stuck here? Like this fucking thing is just not gonna load properly? Hang on. Okay. So this is the only place for me where I was immediately able to think that like this might be a huge loading scene, but like it's not that different from anything we've seen in the previous generations. And like you see how quick that was? It immediately started going up and activating this cutscene. That was like half a second, or if even. And you can see all this stuff is being illuminated. All these things are standing around here. These dynamic lighting situations, these really complex statues are all just moving. And we saw what, like half a second of load, and she's still like doing her little thing. These huge pillars are moving. I mean pillars, those like blimp looking things. She gets her little power upgrade. But this here is actually the part of the demo that like really blew my mind. And I think this is for most people is going to be the same thing. And like, so that whole thing, if that was loading that video, it wasn't. It was loading this, right? Like Breath of the Wild wishes it could look like this, you know? And this part was like, it made me think like, hey, you like that Spider-Man? Wait till you see what we got. So I don't know if this is going to be a cutscene type thing, or they're going to show like you could actually kind of run around like this. I can't tell if they're moving this themselves or if this is just a video. You know, we're along for the ride with like real time graphics. But like this part was the part that I was like, let me play this game. I want to play that. Bam. And then we got her little elf looking eyes and big eyes. I don't know. Hey, you guys tell me, does this sound of the portal remind you of something PlayStation sound like? For some reason, it keeps reminding me of the PlayStation sound. But I can't tell which one I'm thinking about. And of course, we get Unreal Engine logo. Boom. Unreal 5. You know, I bet designers love when 5 comes up because they get a V. You know, and V is a nice symmetrical thing, so they can probably do a lot with designs and stuff like that. Next year, launch, and supposedly PlayStation 5 running right now. We just saw it. It looks amazing. You get to see some of the other shit I've been watching. But, let's see if I missed any of my thoughts down here. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it's really difficult to tell when the loads are happening, and if they are happening, they're happening so fast that like it doesn't even matter, right? So it looks like we're gonna be able to jump in, enjoy it. Like we're not gonna have to wait with like hold triangle to open this door, and it waits like 2 seconds because it's opening the whole section ahead or whatever. Like look, there's like thousands, maybe hundreds at least. Hundreds of bugs, maybe a couple thousand, just squirming around right here. I mean, it looks great. I'm hyped. I think you guys should be hyped too. PlayStation 5 is like coming out the gate, and Unreal is like coming out the gate saying like, hey, PS5 has got it, yo. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to link the video at the bottom here. I'm also going to link the other video with Geoff Keighley talking to the developers over at Epic. And they give a little bit more context on some of this stuff. They talk a lot about Fortnite, which is understandable because actually I think it helps showcase that they could do something like this because Fortnite has so many things going on at once. Yeah, it's like really scaled down graphical fidelity wise, but like apparently they were able to learn a lot from what it takes to maintain all that kind of stuff. Not just like from a gameplay perspective, but from a back-end software development perspective, and like how to make sure it runs properly and all that, and apply it here and just like show us that, yo, PS5 has got it. Okay, they got it. Just get ready for it. Okay. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm excited. Okay. Well, I can't really think of very much else to go on about this, but like if you saw something that I didn't, or you think that, yeah, actually if you missed it, you saw something I missed, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it and see your perspective on this. If you want, actually, I'm going to link up to you guys. See, if you like this kind of video, I have another video where I discuss a little bit on my thoughts on the DualSense controller reveal. And you can check out one of my other Let's Plays going on. I just finished my Resident Evil 3 remake Let's Play. And I started my Final Fantasy 7 remake Let's Play. Both remakes. I'm about to blah blah blah. I'm losing myself. I'm too excited. I'm gonna start some more Let's Play, so look forward to that. I'm actually putting out my first review soon, so I hope you guys look forward to that. I'll link it up for you here on the screen, and like always, I'm Ross Magas. This is not real life. Yeah, this is not real life, man. Imagine if that was real life. And we'll see you guys next time. God, this looks so good. So